Okay, this is not for Maga. This video I'm about to do is not for Maga. So if you're Maga, just get the hell out of here.
So get your bags and get the hell on.
This is for everybody else who believes in facts and statistics and data.
This is for you! Oh!
And I'm going to do this post like I used to do back in when I first got started.
Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid again.
But again, Maga, if you're listening to this, just get the hell on.
I don't want you no more.
Because you're not going to believe it anyway. Steve Ratner is a journalist, investor, and a commentator on MSNBC. And he has all of these charts with data and statistics that he get from legitimate, credible sources to include the Trump administration to explain what's going on with anything that you need a chart for. He's always on Morning Joe, and let's ask him some questions about those charts. So Steve, or Mr. Ratner if you're nasty, how do Americans get their health care?
Americans get their health care in a number of ways. About half of them, a little over half of them, get it through their employer. The rest who have health care get it through the government, some through Medicaid and others through these marketplaces. The marketplaces were created under Obamacare to allow people who don't get their health care in other ways to buy it with some help from the government.
So if I understand you correctly, Steve, if you got a job, you get your health care through your job. Cool. If you don't have a job, if you have a job that don't supply you with adequate health care, you can go through Medicaid or Medicare. Cool. Then Democrats came up with Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act to get those people that were in the hole to where they did not have a job and the job that they had did not supply them adequate health care. They can go to these exchanges and get cheaper health care. Democrats got it. So Obama did what he did with the ACA in Obamacare. And then from 2019 until 2020, roughly, Trump tried to kill it. Okay. What did Biden do in 2021?
In 2021, in the Biden administration, these subsidies were substantially expanded to cover more people at higher at incomes. They're still very modest, but up from the bottom.
So when Biden said,
build the economy from the bottom up and the middle out, not from the top down,
he meant it. Okay. And because of what Obama and Biden did, what has happened from 2020 to 2025?
And so what's happened is that between 2025, you had more than a doubling of people enrolling in these marketplaces. There are now 24.2 million people enrolled in these marketplaces.
So when the ACA or Obamacare got started, roughly 13 million people were in it. Now it's double to close to 25 million. Where is the increase coming from, Steve Ratner? I think you already know.
It was in red states, 157% increase in the number of people in the marketplaces versus 36% in blue states.
Well, pull my skin back and call me circumcised. You mean to tell me that the Affordable Care Act and Obamacare, which is the same thing, it helps red states more than blue states? Red states had more people get on to Obamacare than blue states. Well, got to be more careful. Steve, show me on a map what states are more heavily into the Affordable Care Act than other states.
A number of red states, Texas, Utah, and so forth, all have over 10% of their people enrolled in the marketplace.
Go back, pause, take a look at that map. It's mostly the Southeast. Parts of Alabama, all of Georgia, Florida, definitely, Mississippi, Texas, South Carolina. But here's why they are on the Affordable Care Act and not on Medicaid, Medicare, and other subsidies.
Because Medicaid was not expanded in many of these states. States had an option back after Obamacare was passed whether to expand Medicaid or not. The red states often didn't, so their people had less insurance, and so when this happened, they took advantage of it.
And this is the bullcrap of Maga and the Republican Party. They were told, hey, we don't need government in our business, right? We don't need government in our health care. We don't need a single payer system. We don't need that. We can get it on our own. We can pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. And because of that, they did not expand Medicaid and Medicare. And what happened? When Obamacare season opened up, a lot of Republicans in those states, in those southern states, they ran to ACA. That's what happened. Let's go by districts. Tell them, Steve.
And you can also see down here, if you look by Republican congressional districts across the country, almost 8% of people are in the marketplaces, whereas only 6.3% of the Democrats.
Almost 8% of Republican districts are in the ACA. They just took $1 trillion from the ACA, Medicaid, Medicare to give $2 trillion in tax cuts to the rich. Then they shut the government down. The Democrats are trying to get that $1.5 trillion back. But the Republicans know if we give them the 1.5, we got to find another 1.5 to make up for the 1.5 we gave to the rich. That's why this is a problem. Republicans are going to feel this more so than Democrats. That's why MTG is not MTG, is empty. That's why MTG said this.
This is the number one issue I hear about in my district. Health insurance premiums are unaffordable, not only for people on the ACA, but also families, maybe small business owners that buy their own health insurance. And with the cost of living today, I think it's reached a boiling point.
And at the same time she said this, she voted for the ACA. Just like Maga, they vote against their own interests. Now, I'm done. I had fun. I hope you did too. I hope you learned something. Tell me, what do you think?